Why?
Okay.
Don't tell me that you made this.
Well, I'm making it,
Oh my God.
but I'm just right in the middle now. Let's go to Alt E. Oops.
How do you make these doors?
That's just a wall texture.
Okay.
Okay, let me try. Try Alt E. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm just practicing making walls right now because I started doing stuff with the all the O tellies and O tags, and I just got lost in that. I made an orb that just didn't work at all. And then I got inspired by your orb. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to make walls. I think I need to really just sit down and make walls and passages and walls and passages and then start getting a little fancier. But let me click
But
on
your
this.
work was so inspiring, Grant. I mean, that basement that you had made that was just too good.
Yeah, I don't even know if it works anymore. We can check it. So this is this wall right here. Okay, so I'm on that, and it says door 09. Okay, so what
Mhm.
I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the door in the middle, hopefully. So let's see, up, one, click, click again, one, click, click again, and up. Okay, now,
Um, yeah.
uh, hold on. Oh, I need to right click. Whenever I'm making walls, if I don't right click, I get into that craziness. But I don't know if that's the same as you. Hey, Fred.
Hello.
And let's do this guy to be the,
Door?
yeah. There we go. I think it's door 09. Yeah, there it is. And I say, okay. Okay, so that seems to be okay. Front 13? I don't think so. No, front is 0. So that should be 0. And
And the one above it.
yeah, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, can't zoom in when I got that selected. Wow. Oh, I have to hit enter. Sorry. And now let me
You're
zoom in
there.
a little bit. Okay, and then this guy is 0. And enter, and then this guy is also 0. Come on.
Grant?
Yeah.
Grant? May I make a
Mhm.
suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
To go through the walls without worrying about the clicking, which can be challenging, just use the keypad.
Yeah, use the arrow key. I often do that. Thank you.
To toggle through the doors.
Yeah. So let me do Alt S, enter, Alt L, enter, Alt E. Okay, so then I should have the door in the middle. Oops. Okay, so I missed that one wall with the texture. But I was telling Alka Fred, that I just went back to making walls and passageways and
It looks
just
super good, Grant. It looks
That's amazing.
terrific.
what happened here is that it still says 13. Sorry. Delete 0, enter. But I think that what
Wow.
Claude was saying is right, that you know, I feel like I almost just have to get so that I can just sit there and do this, you know, before I start doing the O tags and stuff, because I got a little
100%. Yeah.
lost in O tag land. My
No,
orb
no,
3, yeah. So this is
no,
just the,
I'm full on board with that advice. Fully on board with that advice.
you know, it's not nothing, but I'm just building walls. I'm just
It's fantastic. It just looks so good. Have you imported these textures, Grant?
no, I didn't. No. The walls are just the G band 7. And you know, just making the doorways and making sure that you're going back to domains, creating a new domain, and just keep doing that over and over again. It seems to me like what I have to be doing right now. So if we get time later, I can show you the broken orb and we can, like, you know, but I almost don't even think it's, I think I need to just totally go back and do something completely different. The other thing that I just wanted that is becoming very apparent, and Alka, maybe you can pick up on this a little bit too, is like actually having the design in mind and sketching it out before you start so that you know which rooms you want to tag together in terms of their names and stuff, so that you can apply an effect that's going to go through several rooms rather than going back and renaming all the rooms, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
seems to
absolutely.
me, yeah, like having a plan ahead of time, almost a schematic is so this is just what I'm going to start doing. I'm just going to start building walls and mazes and start working with that. And then when that feels like it's almost easy or second nature, then I'm going to revisit the tellies and all that stuff. So that's the plan.
My
Did
internet
you?
connection has been crappy for a couple of days. I've already been kicked out twice, so
Okay.
we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I just did a small adjustment. Hopefully it helps.
Yeah. Cool. So I was pretty inspired by your orbs, Alka, really, and I mean I think that that is such a cool way to go to build those different, um, you know, to the way you're working with the colors and everything. So that's been a kind of like, oh wow, look what we can do type of thing. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I just feel that I'm too slow and I can't remember. So I need to repeat everything a lot of times before I get to it. That was the reason why I thought I'd get
yeah,
this front and back wall right. And then the idea of the mantra orb came in. So I think I'll just make 10 rooms and just make that for Christmas. I think that's going to be my Christmas orb.
there you go. And just have stay with one sound or with four sound for four of them, different mantras for different regions,
Yeah,
or
10 of them, one for each room. And each of them is going to be a different color. Um, I don't know. I was imagining all kinds of things, and each of them will have the playlist, and the connecting corridors will have a transition music. Uh,
wow.
so, but I was thinking that if I could get textures wherein I could create it like I don't know how, maybe a alpha semi-transparent heart bubble in the love room and some angels in the blessing healing room. I was thinking of how can I do all of that. I was thinking of maybe, you know, a curtain of angels, like, you know, all of them, and they're like, you can pass through those objects, so they're there but they're not there. So that's what I was thinking of creating for every room, but I don't know how am I going to achieve it, because I don't have any models, I don't have any textures, I don't have anything. So first I'll get done with the basic, and then probably I'll take Fred's help and uh, get the angels going and get the hearts and maybe leaves in the room where there's healing. I don't know. Something like that.
Sounds great.
So actually, I need help from you guys today, if that's all right.
What is it, Fred?
We're here for you,
Does
Fred.
my mic not work?
Your mic
You
works,
guys hear
Hans.
me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, now
Yeah,
we can
okay.
hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we ought to beckon the Institute to have a little texture model shop
Mhm.
where we can buy, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. All right, I need help with what you see on your various monitors. I'll share an orb I'm working on. And because I've had a little bit of a freak out, well, freak out's too strong a word. Let's say I'm concerned that what I'm seeing is not what you're seeing. And I want to do, since there's, you know, 9 of us, maybe get some feedback on what, I mean, putting colors and words together is not a great idea, but it's what we have. So I'm going to ask you some hopefully helpful, specific questions, but let me bring up the orb 1 second.
Okay, there's 8 of us. Kathleen's a double
Yeah.
agent.
All right, let me try something here. Let's go to this one. One on, well, no. Let's try it this way. All right, here we go. So if you can, oh, sorry, there's music with this one. Hans, if you would, since I know you have a newer computer, would you say the floor is gray purple or red purple?
Red, purple, dark fuchsia.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Elka,
I see
how would you
black
describe the
and
floor?
reddish purple.
Again?
Black and like, yeah, deep pink purple.
Deep pink purple. Grant?
The floor is a pretty much standard purple. It does have some pink in it, though.
Kathleen?
It's like a eggplant with fuchsia.
That's better. Who's left? Jaswant and Paula and Kevin. Kevin, what do you see since you're open?
It's black with just kind of regular purple to me. It's not a lot of pink in the purple to me. Maybe a little bit, but I guess fuchsia is probably the good name.
Jaswant?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop, so it looks black with sort of purplish, more pinkish type spots in there, so to speak.
And Paula?
It looks, the floor is black spots that are purple, dark pink. I can
Dark
send
pink.
you a photo too. I mean, you, maybe as another idea for you to see what others are seeing.
Yeah. Great. And the walls, quickly, are they pink or are they bright red pink? Just
Pink on
shout
my
it out.
end.
Pink.
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 Well, mine
Toward
are pink and white.
Yeah, toward the gray of
Yes.
pink or toward the red of pink?
Red of
Pink of pink.
The pink of pink. Okay,
Yeah, the
shit.
pink.
Yeah, pink.
And I definitely see the white as well.
They do look
Yeah,
different on my two different computers. Like one looks way brighter than the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, I'm going for muted stuff. And on the computer that I work on, the laptop I work on, I'm muting the colors. I don't want, but on my extra screen, my dual monitor, they're like loud pink. So this is where my questions become. Okay, okay. I won't take up people's time, but you have confirmed my issues.
Well, I hope you can calibrate that, Fred.
I can, but hold on, let me close the orb. Yeah, it just gives me something to play with. It means what I'm seeing is not what other people are seeing. And since I've concerned myself with color a lot, it's been for naught.
No wonder people like my orb.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing is yeah, okay, good. All right. All right. Thank you. That's helpful.
Quick question, how do I color, can I color just one wall?
Yeah, you just have to give the wall an ID name.
Oh,
So at the
Okay.
bottom, the very last frame you can fill in is ID. And at the bottom of, and then you type in a name, whatever name you want, doesn't matter. And just make sure it's 8 characters or less.
and then I go Alt-6, right?
Yeah. And then you go to wall.
Right. Select the wall in wall and then go to the domain, load it, and then do Alt-6, right?
Yeah, here I'll show you, just so it's
That's Alt F6, I think, right?
Alt F6, yeah.
Ah, that's what I meant.
well, for you hands, Alt function F6.
There you go.
Let's go to this one. All right.
Looks like you're in an orb there, Fred. I love the beams, the wooden beams.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So share, just so you can see it, Hans, so it's clear. All right, this one doesn't have music in it. All right, so if I go to Alt E, Hans, oops. Right, I'm gonna go over to a wall, just any wall, right? Let's just choose this back wall, right? Do you see at the bottom here, Hans? It says ID name, right?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna put something unnecessary like, how about test? Enter, right? Alt S for save, Alt L for load, enter, and Alt E to get out. So now this back wall here has the name test. So I'm gonna bring up Alt F6. See, here's wall,
Yeah.
right? And the name test, T-E-S-T. It's good. One practice I've learned, sometimes I think the engine gets confused between caps, small and uppercase letters. And I found that uppercase letters are just safer. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to just change the wall. Do you see immediately it goes black? And then
Nice.
I can raise the colors.
Okay.
Good. So then test, name test, and the wall edit. I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to get out by hitting Alt F6. And now I have a green wall, whether I like it or not, but that's okay. I'm going to escape and it should not save it, or I'll fix it later.
Thank you. You colored my world.
You're such a wit.
Yeah, that's so cool. I never even thought of having different colors on the walls. So
Hey, that's our secret.
Yeah, I tried it too and it wasn't saving. So I guess it's because I didn't have a name.
Yeah. Yeah. And always the save at the bottom. Always the save at the bottom.
So did I do good, Fred? Did I bring up a good thing today?
You did. Yay. You're going to sit near the front row now, Hans.
I needed some help with something.
Beautiful.
Sounds good.
I did make some progress finally. Let me try to share. The thing with the textures worked, like going in and manually writing them. And then, but now my view is wrong. So I'll try to share it here. Now, how do I do that again? Oh, wait. Oops. Hold on. I think I gotta share screen first. Hold on. Oh no, doesn't give me the option. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my computer around then so you can see it. I don't know if that'll work. Is that too bright?
It's a bit bright.
So on that computer, it's not letting you,
Share screen.
let's see. How can we work through that?
Pretty washed out.
Well, if you can sort of see I did get a lady in there, like an avatar,
Ah, yeah.
but she's just like, her view is not right.
Yeah. You're looking at the front of her or the back of her? It's hard to tell.
The back of her.
Okay. Some
But if
people.
I do Alt F6, it seems to fix it, but I don't know how to change the view permanently.
Did you? Okay. So you're in object of Alt F6, correct?
Yeah, when I put Alt F6, it backs it up and then she looks right.
You're
But
not
it's
saving,
like-
not saving it.
Yeah, I don't
But when
work
I
with
log
I don't
in,
work
it's
with
like-
OSoUL, so I'm going to be quiet. So the rest
Oh.
of the group has to help because I don't work with this yet.
Kevin, you wanna?
Liz, is that, do you have a name in your player, right? That you put the ID name when you open the F6?
OSOUL or
Also, what you have?
player.
Okay, and then you change everything. I mean, you change the angle or whatever. I mean, you make it like that she looks the way you want, and then you save it, and you say that is not sticking.
I don't know if I'm supposed to change the the angle of the soul or the player?
Ah, okay. So you're asking, okay. When you're working on, is the OSoul what you're changing?
Yeah, because you think the OSoul is looking from above the player. I would think. But I don't know where, I don't know how to change it. I tried to copy everything from, I basically went into the other orb and copied the screens into this orb. But I don't know where the view is coming from.
Well, it should be like what you should type on the F6 is the ID name of the soul 1. And then with that, you will be changing your OSoul effect or whatever. And then you move on the X and the Y angles to get it where you want it, and then you save. So
Okay.
it's not the player, is with the soul 1 typing in the F6.
I'll try it. Thank you.
Doesn't Claude also cover that in, is it the connected rooms video?
There's actually a video specific for setting an OSoul on the IDHHB page, and there you get the instructions.
Oh, okay.
And you
I did
change the height in that one?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll try to find
Okay.
that.
it changes how to adjust it in a way that you move the X and the Y's, and when you get it, then you just save it.
I did have another question unrelated because I'm a little behind now, and then I know it's people did tell us this, but when you make another room, like I just have one room, when you make a second hall or room, is it a new region or no? Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That was my only question. Thank
Great.
you.
No,
And
no,
a hole also is a new region too, when you
Very
make a hole.
Yeah. And it will actually recognize the doorway as being both regions. So you don't have to draw 2 walls for the doorway, if that makes any sense. It took me a while to kind of get that. But I don't know if anybody else can phrase it
So it's
better.
actually in a complete sequential order. If you follow the IDHHB Blueline's
Yeah.
page, you can follow either the typed instructions on the page or you can watch the video. Either would do. And it's absolutely, so first you make a room, then
Yep.
you make connected rooms. When you're making connected rooms, you remove the 4th wall, create 3 walls. The center wall is also connected with the new domain.
Right.
Since it's connected with two domains, the wall has to be named on both sides, the front and back. So that you'll find in the video. That's very simple. So if first domain is domain 0 and the second is 1, then one side of the wall, the back would be 1 and the front will be 0. So the way of checking it is you go back after creating those domains, you go to domains and they will show in pure white lines, like a white box inside a red box. And that's when you know that a domain is complete. Otherwise, it might create problems. But just, I think the videos, if you follow, they're just perfectly done. There is no problem there at all. I don't know if it is, I mean, if it's too much to, am I clear on the entire process? I mean, if
That
it's
was
clear.
really helpful. Thank you. Yeah. And your videos, your orb is so inspiring too.
Good. Good.
It's funny. I don't know. Because they can't see the colors that I've created. They see different colors.
Yeah, it's upsetting me. I'm sorry. I'm upset by this.
Upset by what?
By the fact that we all see things differently. And while I know we can take that out a very far away, and that's why we all struggle to get along with each other, because we think everybody understands what we're saying. And now I realize like cold-bloodedly that no one understands me. I only think they do.
Well, my understanding is completely different. I feel
I
everybody
know.
understands.
It's amazing that we can at least agree on the meanings of a few words.
So who else has got something they want to put up there? Fred, were you gonna show
Yeah,
us
I
some
just was
stuff?
waiting. I didn't want to, I didn't like, I
Right.
think what you said, Grant, should not be overlooked. And one of the hesitations I have about showing cool shit
Yeah.
stuff, we'll say stuff, is that then we build, I was explaining it to Elaine, it's like, you can do some really cool decorations on a wedding cake, but the cake tastes like shit. So if you can't build a room, then what's the point in changing the colors of the wall? So yeah, but I wanted to make sure that nobody's getting like, overwhelmed with a bunch of extra stuff. So if nobody has any trouble, I'm happy to show OSound.
Well, also, I think when you show us stuff that's, pushing the boundaries a little bit, we grok a little bit more about like the simpler stuff too, because
Yeah,
you kind of have
it's
to
my
go through. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we want a video library of stuff too,
Yeah,
for-
that's true too. So people can go back. All right. I have the same issues with my students. Like, am I going too fast? All right. So let's open up an orb. Exit. All right, let's go into 8. It's so helpful. Let me tell you why. Hold on, let me share the screen. I'm going to start talking too soon. One of the things why I prefer OSound to dropping a sound file in the domain or in the general orb tab is because OSound gives you some control over the volume. And I find that in the default setting of just dropping it in, it's loud. So OSound gives you some control, but also some limitations. But you can work your way around those, but we'll get to that in a moment. All right, where are we gonna go? Domain, no, let's go to objects.
So I was wondering, Rocky isn't in the meeting, but he's in second line.
All right, here we go. Here, I'm going to center it, right? So you see it. There it is. Right, there's the object.
We're not seeing anything.
Oh, because I'm not sharing my screen. How silly. All right. Effect. OSound. Here's where we start to get into the fun stuff. You see F param, the second box underneath OSound. In future, we're going to touch it today, and I'm not going to go very far with this. But just know that for many of the effects that we can learn, that this will be the box that has lots and lots and lots of effects within the effect. So effect parameter is often ignored in most everything we're doing so far. But as we go a little further, this second box will become really, really important. So if you'll notice, it's not 0, which is normally how it works. We just leave it alone and it's 0. But OSound has 4 effect parameters. We're going to work with 2. I mean, just the number 2. We're not going to talk about 1, 3, and 4 today. It'll work just fine with effect parameter 2. So type 2 into the second box, F param 2. Good?
Yeah.
So it's an object. So there's a texture. I mean, it doesn't have to be a texture. It can just be like I did when I showed you how to use the OTelly, that there was no texture. It was just sort of a spot on the floor that was invisible. But in any case, this this OSound has a texture attached to it. Actually, it's a model. Okay. Now the next box, we're going to leave tag at -1. Don't worry about it. Tag is not important for this right now. In the auxiliary window, notice that sound 1 is the name of the sound file you want played when the player touches this object. The only thing you need to concern yourself is sound 1 Vox symbol. That's my stuff. Whatever sound it is, that's the name that goes in that box. Now, there are other boxes. For me, you'll notice they're empty because I haven't gotten that far with this particular sound. So in number 2 here, you see mine is 0. This is where you can control the volume of that sound. From 0 to 99. Mine is set at 0, which means full volume. So if you can think of it as 0 to 99 with 0 equaling, it's a little counterintuitive, with 0 equaling 100% volume. Then 1 through 99 are percentages. So I want it at 70%. Let's just drop that in. Delete 70. So now the sound that I have recorded and placed in sound 1 box is going to play at 70% of its volume. Good. It's very simple and very effective, and I think quite important to our work.
But 0 is full volume.
Yep.
Okay.
So 0 is 100 and 1 through 99 are percentages. When you do more work with these effects, you'll kind of you'll come to realize or see how Dick basically and therefore EJ, since it's made for EJ, how they relate to numbers. So it'll begin to make sense when you practice it more and you start to see the logic of the software programming. So 0 is 100 to repeat, and 1 through 99 are percentages. All right. And for me, because I like to mess around with stuff, the ID name is for the object. So if I go and fool around with the appearance of the object or the placement of the object, it has nothing to do with the sound. It's all about the ID name for the object, so I can make it different colors, larger, smaller, place it differently on the axis. Okay. So it's just a good practice. If you know if you like to mess around with stuff, just to get into a good habit of giving things ID names. So let's get out of here and let's take a walk. Oh, one more room. Hey, does this red room we're entering, is it bright red or is it gray, sort of muted red?
Muted red.
Muted.
Muted.
Oh, good.
Looks a little dark on my screen.
Yeah, that's a concern, but at least it's not like blood red, which is so weird. Because on my other screen, it's like blood red.
But it's
What about
way too
this?
dark.
And what about this room? What do you see other than it might be a bit dark? Is it
Very dark and blue with black spots on the ground.
Can you see these floating objects?
Yeah,
Is it-
I can.
Yes.
It looks like the lights are off in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Mood. All right, now to the object. All right, so this is a little embarrassing. I'm sorry, I'm working on something, and so you're going to see a little bit into what I'm working on, and it's a bit raw and maybe a little bit, what would be the word, pompous. So here's the object in the center flanked by two crystals, right? So this soundbite that you're going to hear is some of the text I've been writing for the game. Please forgive me if you're going to start to think I'm like a know-it-all. Fill in your own favorite word. So I'm a little embarrassed to share it, but it's, you know, we're friends, right? So here it is. So I can run into it with effect parameter 2, I can touch it with a ball of energy, or I can touch it with the character, right? So I prefer to touch things with the ball of energy.
You are led or motivated by symbols which are given meaning by you.
My God, this is amazing.
Objects and colors and sound and corridors and rooms have no intrinsic meaning other than the meaning you assign them.
Sweet.
Nice.
Excellent.
Cool.
This is super
I
cool.
love it.
Thank you.
Good.
So there you go. OSound. Could be a song, it could be whatever you want to, a sound effect, doesn't matter. And right now I'm working with WAV files, although if you do longer pieces, it might be wise to turn them into MP3s so they don't take up so much space.
Good note.
All right. So another use of it, for example, and this is where I learned, remember when Grant was asking last week, like, I put the object here and now the OTELI doesn't work, right? Grant, I learned that because this little box here was my first practice with OSound, and I moved it around to put it in the right space. And then of course the OSound didn't work because it's
okay.
the OSound, the object or the click inside the editor was in one place, but the box actually got moved to another.
Okay.
So here's another thing you can do too. I have to find it. That's just a simple sound bite, right?
Mhm.
Cool.
Very good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's it. Mostly I'm working with particles and trying to record stuff, and, you know, the green room still exists.
Ah, that's
Nice. Like the sound.
this is what I want in my orb.
My overly dramatic music.
It's great. Is OSound covered in Gorby's secrets, Blueline secrets? No?
I don't know.
Because I'm just wondering how you figure out, you know, what if.
Sorry, Kevin, you cut your mic.
I just wonder what kind of, you know, like where you learn the effects you're using and the line you're using. And
There's two reasons. One, I don't follow instructions very well. So I tend to get the idea and then I just do values for example, with the particles, like I'm just changing values, right? What happens if I make it this? What happens if I change the effect parameter? What does it do, right? Etc. So I do a lot of just like button pushing and like, oh, so if I make it 7, it looks like that. What happens if I make it 20? Oh, now it doesn't work. Okay, 20 for some reason in this slot is not helpful. The second thing I'm doing, I'm breaking into EJ's orbs and looking at what he does.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So in the INI file, someday when you're ready, I can show you how to break into his orbs. It's super unstable. I'm not doing something right. So I have to like get in, take a look, go exactly where I want to go. And he has like I think in one of the orbs I'm watching, he has 900 objects. Whoa, no. Oh, cool. OSound. What is his settings?
Right.
So
Wow.
like I break into the orbs and copy him. And that way I know which boxes he's filled. Well, it's actually Barbara. Sorry, for particles, it's Barbara filling in those boxes. And I'm like, okay, so the effect was this. Here's the auxiliary boxes that EJ put values inside of, or Barbara did. And then I copy that on a piece of paper or whatever. And then I go in and I start changing everything to see what happens.
So this is also MP3. The OSound files are also MP3
They
files.
can be either .wav or .mp3, either one.
Okay.
So could you just like record that on your phone and then drop it in the orb?
I use Ableton Live to make music, so I create the my voice, and then the software I use is Ableton Live to write music. And so it's actually great because now I'm writing music for the orbs instead of writing music with no particular purpose. So now I have like a purpose, like, okay, so it's this room. What do I want this room to sound like? So it gives my nightly noodlings in Ableton some direction rather than, some giant pop song hit.
Well, I do have a question. I kind of alluded to it last week, and I don't know if others have this question. So you've created that room with all those effects, okay? Now, if you wanted to use that, if you went and created a whole different orb, okay, you start on a whole new project, and you've created the entryway and you've created everything. Now you want that room to be a part of that new orb.
I have this question too. I'm not there yet, Grant. I have this memory that there's something that allows us to switch from one orb to another, but I don't remember what it is yet. And it might be a false memory. It may just be a wish that is disguising itself as a memory.
Okay.
Switch from one orb to another, how, like, for example?
Don't know. There's just the idea that it could be possible. And if it's possible, then I will eventually investigate that. But whatever I've been seeing when I break into EJ's orbs is that they're all in one orb. He's not, it's just so it has to be reproduced. I don't know of any copy and paste functions.
Right. That's what I was talking about.
I think it's like, okay, we start again, or there's no. But I have a memory. I have a memory from 2009, whenever we were all doing this in our other lives.
So when you've broken into one of his orbs, were you able to pull out like models and textures?
No. That stuff's under lock and key that I don't know how to break into. I'm just able to look at his editor. Like I can go into Alt E. It's very unstable. Click, 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 click. Oh, cool. That one. What's that effect do?
Whoa.
Where is it in the orb? Oh shit, it's all the way at the end. Not today. I'm not running the whole orb because it's not the short orbs that I'm looking at. It's the ones that he made initially that were like 25 minutes of your time and you were frustrated because you couldn't get to the end of the orb. And then he simplified them because people were feeling defeated.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's what I do. I just go in and I say, what's that? Like right now, I'm really interested in what's an O thing. There's a lot of O things, but it doesn't right now. What would be why would we call it an O thing instead of just an O? Why does it need? So I don't know. I don't understand the O thing yet. So but right now I'm maybe more focused on what I'm trying to, and I don't really know what I'm trying to do. I just have these sort of ideas. They're really disconnected. But I'm a little like Alka in that I have big ideas, but then I have to figure out how to pull them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to work around,
My
I want to
hand.
play around with symbols. Like I think one of the things that I'm investigating, without a lot of backstory, I'm investigating how come we think, like, why does the hooded guy, one of the objects, that hooded guy that I sent an energy bomb to and he started speaking. So for me, I'm like, whoa, it's the wise guy. He's got a hood, he's got a book. And then I'm thinking, how stupid is that? That I assign this meaning because the stupid thing has a, you know, I have been for years really annoyed at like spiritual symbols. Like, you know, I made a joke once when Lee Lozowick's people were staying with me in Chicago, and their guru looked like a guru, right? He had the beard and the turban, and he put on the outfit, let's say, the costume. And I was with his people, a couple of his people, and I said, look, there was a picture advertising some yoga or meditation shit. And of course, the guy had a beard, sorry, Jazz, and a turban, and, you know, a robe. And I made a joke. I was like, look, there's your guru. I said, my guru, shit, he doesn't fit any category in his appearance. It's like just totally, you want to study EJ, you want to study meditation with this round-faced guy, or do you want to study meditation with a guy with a turban and a beard and an outfit that lines with the symbols that we use in our search? And I'm really suspicious of those symbols.
Well,
They
and,
can be
and
manipulated.
corporations and all that too, eh? They
Yes.
just used it all up. It's just nothing has any meaning.
It's all
anymore.
garbage. It's meaningless.
No
To me,
sacredness.
like the sacredness have been sucked out of everything, right? So I'm trying to use the orbs because the orbs really are really symbolic, right? There's a lot of symbolism going on in the orbs. So I'm wrestling with that problem as I make the orb. So I don't just make yet another like meditation orb with like people doing this, you know. So that's my personal crap I'm working through.
Our teacher looks like a wrestler.
I know. Yeah.
So Fred, you're saying you don't trust me?
No, I know your heart, Jazz One. I don't look at your face ever anymore. But if we lined up in a room, if we lined up in a group, Jazz One would be, that guy's the most spiritual.
He'd win.
Oh no, Darth Vader's here.
Have crossed the
That looks
passageway.
great, Grant. That looks really
Grant,
good.
you look like the guy.
You look
guy
like
the book guy.
Voldemort from the Harry Potter films.
Thanks. Now I know where to look for some work.
Yeah. Good luck with your dentistry, by the way.
Grant and Jasmine. Yeah, Grant.
It actually it went a lot better than anybody thought, and so far I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there.
Oh, it already happened.
It happened. So that's why I'm like kind of amazed that it went so well. So thank you.
Yeah, you don't look like you're
reading.
hurting.
You're a trooper for showing up.
Yeah, you just look like Voldemort. That's all that happened.
The white guy.
Or some evil dude in Star Wars. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, Luke.
Well, I was wondering, do you know, anyone know where I can find step 01, step 01? Missed that.
Is it a texture?
It's that step sound. Remember from the old days?
Oh,
Clunk,
yeah.
clunk, clunk, clunk.
That's an effect. I don't know it yet, but I've seen it. There's an effect to attach that sound, the clump, 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 right? The sound effect of walking to the O player.
It's not a sound file?
It is a sound file.
Right. Do you have
I just
it?
don't know how to, I don't know how, I don't think so. I just don't know how to attach it to the.
I know how to attach it. I just.
Oh, wow, you're ahead of me then.
Yeah. it's
Let
from
me
my
see if
old
I
house.
have it. I'll look to see if I have it.
I paid top dollar.
Ah. You say it's step 01?
Yeah, step 01.
Nope, don't have it.
Wow, I thought of all people you would have it.
I don't think this walking stuff was invented when we were first learning.
It was from like 9 years ago.
Oh, wow. Well, then I missed that one in all the transfers between computers. I lost it.
Do you remember that jazz one?
I remember the sound, but I'm not. I don't know what it is. I know I downloaded a bunch of stuff over the weekend from Etsy. So I haven't had a look. I'll take a look to see if it's in there. But I downloaded the virtual sculpture and
I looked in the
rain.
sound effects file and I don't see anything with step or walk or anything. But that doesn't mean it's not there, because some of the naming is a little bit, have to go through and play each one of them.
Okay, well, if I find it, I'll make sure you guys get one. Are we gonna get our Christmas present early this year, Fred?
What do you want? He didn't tell Santa what you wanted.
Textures, models, sounds.
I think it's really good I don't know who said it, but it was, maybe it was you, Hans, that we need to petition Barbara, EJ, Claude, etc., to see if they'd be willing to package up more stuff. Because one of the things I feel bad about is if I give away what I have for free, then how's the Institute going to sell it to you?
Right.
It'd probably
Yeah.
just take a few of us asking, I would think.
Yeah,
Sure.
just like
I'll-
just like the weekend workshop. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
He
send
has
Claude an
offered
email.
that, in fact, a couple of times, that if we want certain things, just let him know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't think we should make placard boards and do a march?
No, I'm all for doing Foley sound. I mean, I don't know. It's all about taste and what you would like, right? We're all different. To make the sound yourself, like do what they call Foley sounds, right? Wow, with your phone, doesn't matter. The quality doesn't have to be that great. You can just go record whatever and bring it into the engine and see if it sounds good. That to me is like that. That's why, animation films in particular, there's so many specialists, right?
Yeah.
So
And
maybe as
sometimes the cheap and dirty sounds the best.
yes, you got it. You got it. You got it. And as we mature together, working together, I think we'll all peel off and become the guy or the gal who knows about that thing, right?
And we can trade that stuff, right? Like our own personal
Yeah, of
baseball
course.
cards.
Of course.
Excellent.
And may I make a suggestion, Hans, and everyone?
Yes.
I went fishing on the internet search engine and said door closing, MP3 file or sound effect file. There for you don't even have to pay. I just listened to door. No, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, this one's pretty good. Download this one. Oh, this one's pretty good. Download and just put them in the sound file.
Royalty free.
Royalty free. So you can also not, if you don't want to make them yourself, you can go fishing for them on the internet. I found some really cool building textures, but I haven't had a need to use them yet.
Well, that should be something that we share. If we find a safe haven for doing that, where we can feel like we can download something without, destroying our
Endangering things. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be
So
good.
So
Fred, if it's a texture, does it have to be .bmp or .png or?
it needs to be .bmp for the engine to work with it, and it should be square. There are ways
What-
around not square stuff, but it's not fun.
What's
So
the average size of a text file, texture file?
256 by 256,
Okay.
128 by 128, and any software, like any graphic software that's free or paid for, will allow you to bring that into your software, your program, and change the
Yeah,
file type.
size.
change the size. There you go.
Okay.
So if you get one that's like 512 by 512, which is quite large, then just bring it into whatever software you're using and change it to 256 by 256. And for people who are playing around in textures, I found that I really am starting to like when the texture size is 64, especially if it's a pattern. It there's something pleasing about that size. So
It maps out well.
yeah, it tiles really nicely. Like it just, whatever, it's taste, right? Whatever you're working on. But I had this sort of habit, just an unquestioned habit that was like, oh, everything is 256. And then it would look like crap in the orb, right?
So for example, we have the door texture that Grant used. Is that a 64 by is that a square texture that fits on a, and it fits on the rectangular one?
Yeah, I think
It's
it
not
was
rectangular.
128, but I'm not. Yeah, I put it on a grid of the 128, and it was one space.
I'm sorry, Grant, I didn't get you. You say
It was, I think it's 128.
128
Yeah, but
by
it did go the
128.
full height. So it did go the full height, which was 256. So it probably is 256 square.
Okay. Okay.
Does it
Then
always have
how
to be
does it
square?
fit-
Sorry,
how does it-
Alka.
Sorry.
Sorry.
How does it fit a rectangular frame? It doesn't. So
No,
if you're creating a wall, like one of the walls, and there are 3 walls, I understand, but the height can be anything, right? The height is 256. Oh, 384 is the height, right? And
sure.
if the width of the wall can be anything. So how does that square thing fit? I mean, I'd not try to understand. I have a
Experiment. You're going to see. I mean, I could show you, but we're running near time. But all I can say, Alka, is just play around, and it's okay. It's like, okay, so this doesn't work, right? But to answer your question, for example, if your texture is 256, right? Height, width, square, 256, but your wall height, what's the next one up that people like is what's 256 plus 128? It's 384, right? So what's it going to do to that second tiling of the 256 texture? It's going to cut it. 256 and then 128. So it's going to cut the top part of that 256 texture as it tiles it again.
Okay, got it.
That's why I should have been better at expressing stuff. That's why I'm starting to lean towards smaller textures like 64 so that I don't get that cut. Right?
Okay, got it.
And the texture should always be square.
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some. So for example, if you find a painting that you've made or you buy from Jazzwant or something, right? And it's horizontal or vertical and not square, right? Either you go and make it square and remove, right? Crop out some of the, what you might consider not important parts of the painting or drawing. Or if it's square, you put all the black or the needless information on one side, right? So you make it, so let's say it's horizontal. Let's say it's a vertical painting, right? But the engine wants it to be this way, but no, my painting is this way and I can't crop out anything. It'll break my little heart, right? The whole thing is important. It won't work, except you put it on an R box and you make all the useless information over here, and you make the R box the dimensions of your painting. Then you can put the painting on a tall R box, a rectangular R box. But if you put it on the side of a wall, it's just going to texture it. It's not going to have that. You're not going to have that ability to cut away half of the image or part of the image, the unimportant nothingness over here. But if you tile that on a wall, it's just going to be painting black, painting black, painting black, and it's going to look super weird, right?
So then what would you put make the R box really thin and then pin it up on the wall? Okay.
Yep. Like a painting.
Right.
Hang a painting.
Cool. That's good. So I just wanted to ask too, where, I guess all the Zoom meetings, eventually they get deleted, right?
I think that I have 2 or 3 weeks worth of a backlog. So I'll have today's stored, and then I think I have 2 more weeks stored. And then so I have to delete one tonight in order for this to get stored.
Can those be ripped?
Yes.
They can.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How could I get those, Grant? Or can I?
I'll send you what I have, and then that's pretty much what I could do. I didn't rip any of the other ones, but I'll send you the link for it, and you can do whatever you want for them.
Okay, for the 3.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, maybe I'll create some sort of a file for those and just start saving them all. That makes a lot more sense. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, are we good to wrap, or anybody want to go over anything else, or
I have one more question.
okay.
So there, I do see that in textures, we have the smoke texture. And I do know that we can use OPlay to move objects. So do we put an object, put smoke on it, and tag it as OPlay to animate it?
There's only one O player. The game will scold you if you try to have 2
Not
O
OPlay,
players.
sorry. Oh, what's the movement thing?
Walk.
O walk.
Yes.
Yeah. Put it on. See what happens. Put it on a box. See if the box starts running around the room. Put it on an R box, but you can't because the R box is the effect. But anything that's an object, go ahead and put it on, put O walk on any object and just see what happens. You can have 100 of them.
I want to create those big smoke curtains.
Okay, I'm gonna head off.
Yeah,
All right,
people
guys.
are peeling off.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Good time to wrap
Bye,
up.
everybody.
you.
See you later.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye, thank
Hey.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Fred. Thank you
You are
all.
welcome.
Bye, everyone. Take care.